Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
This week on the Geek Fruit Podcast, we're talking about what Batman, Sauron, Medusa, the Wicked Witch of the West, and the Gremlins all have in common. It's called the Lego Movie. It's pretty good. You should check it out. Or just listen to this. Happy listening, you nerds.
Everybody, welcome to a new episode of the Geek Fruit Podcast. And no, this is not the voices of people who are recording an episode at 9 a.m. in the morning. Is it Jishnu? Are they Jishnu? Is it Jishnu? I'm not even sure anymore. Hi, Jishnu, what's up?
Yes. This is the answer to your question.
Well, then it's also a hard yes as to my question. Are we recording this at 9:23 in the morning? Yes.
More coffee, please.
Yeah. But we did it specifically so we can get our Batman voice on. So, that's a good way to start this episode.
Yeah, let's think of it that way.
Yeah.
That makes us happy.
Yeah, we're talking about the Lego Batman movie, a movie that we've wanted to talk about for a few weeks now, but we've had to do movies like The Space Between Us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm glad that's out of the way, and now we can do this.
I'm very glad that's out of the way. And I'm very happy with this movie.
Me too.
We saw it under last-minute circumstances, much like how I specifically thought it was coming out like a week prior. So this movie's been a nice surprise. It's been a bad surprise when it didn't come out and I had to see Space Between Us instead. And it was a good surprise when I realized I needed to see it like
suddenly
today.
We're going to watch it,
oh crap, it was not on the agenda, but cool. I'm glad it was.
Yeah.
Just to get straight into it, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy with this movie, but I will say that I had higher expectations thematically.
Yeah.
I had really built it up in my head because the first one was so...
let's talk about that first movie.
Just, I don't know, provocative in very unique ways because it was one of the few movies that you see coming out today that was not on the crutch of a pre-existing anything.
Yeah.
Right? Like we've talked about this a lot, that there are a lot of movies, like we had an episode called The Age of Franchise, because that's what we're in right now. Everything is a franchise or everything is based off a book or based off something. While these technically are based off toys, there's not a whole lot there to work with.
Yeah, there's no story in it, yeah.
So the first one was really good because it was unique in every turn. Like every new thing that was introduced to you, you just had to go with.
Yeah.
There was no premise pre-existing. There was no connection to any of the characters, which is really cool. And so when the plot develops and you meet new people and you see the problems that they face, you have nothing to go off, which is at this point, it's odd to say that it's a unique place to be in because that's just baseline storytelling of like...
That should be the regular...
It should be the norm, but it's the minority now.
Yeah.
So in that way, I mean, I knew that obviously this one being based off Batman, who was arguably the biggest breakout star of the first one. And that is ironic in itself based off everything I just said. But still, this one, I knew obviously we would be constrained and confined to the world of Batman that we already know and love so well.
Yeah.
That would be a contrarian problem to the first one, right? So that aside, it was still really good. With that being said, my biggest beef was that it didn't create as many waves, at least for me. Or at least in general, I was really hoping that it would flip the genre and it would really be smart about it.
No, I get it.
It was safe.
Yeah, it was
a safe movie. It was a very good safe movie.
Yeah, I agree. And as in I think you're absolutely dead on about the Lego movie. I mean, that movie was like it was groundbreaking, man. Like for me, I was going in for that movie thinking it was going to be like a very silly, Lego movie, like as in literally it's a kid's movie and stuff like that. But it was way adult in the stage. The way they incorporated the Lego philosophy of building and the whole how you can create anything, and then that third act, that twist, which is there. I don't know, for those who haven't seen it, spoiler alert.
We're going to spoil both.
This is one of the reasons why the movie was not nominated for Best Animated Film. But I thought it should have been Best Picture. It should have just been nominated for Best Picture. It was because it turns out that this whole world of the Lego movie is actually, it's just a kid who's kind of creating, he turns out to be just a little boy who lives in the real world like you and me. And he's just building toys, and he's basically taking his father's playset, which he's a collector, like he's a professional, like, super uber hipster kind of master builder. And he's like, he likes everything perfect, and no other toys from other universes should interact with other ones. It was a very clever way of doing one of their brands, which is called the Lego Dimensions brand, which basically kind of has characters from different universes interact with each other. And when Will Ferrell, who plays the father, just hates that his kid is doing this, that kind of forms the conflict of the story. I mean, the meta story within the actual Lego movie. And then ultimately, he kind of what he does is he finally sees that his child is having such a good time playing with these toys that he kind of says, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna let you do it, because it's more important for me to share this with my son than for me to kind of create the ultimate collection. So I thought that was amazing in the Lego movie, and that was
meta, man.
It was meta.
It was a lot more meta than anybody would have ever imagined.
It was, I did not see that coming at all. And when that happened, I was just like, wow, this movie is more than just like, I mean, it's hilarious. There's no doubt about it. And one of the zany things, which is also done obviously in this movie, is that because it's animated property, a lot of things can come together. Like, you can have friggin' Sauron and Voldemort in the same thing just because they're owned by Warner Brothers, and because it's not live action, they're allowed to do that. Physically, on paper, it's legal. Yeah. So they take full advantage of that, of combining universes. In the first one, we had like Hal Jordan and it was Green Lantern and Green Arrow. No, who was the other?
Wasn't it Green Lantern?
Yeah, it was played by Channing Tatum and what's his name? And other guy.
Was it the same guy that did it in this one?
The Step Up guys. Jonah Hill, yeah. So, and it was great. Like, what a weird thing to happen, but sure, it just... Gandalf was this guy, Morgan Freeman, who was like a principal character in that. I mean, it's a weird way to do it, but like you have to buy into it like straight up and just say, this is what it's supposed to be.
But in some ways, I guess that even though it was like super meta, like we said, and really a lot smarter than anybody expected, a lot more adult in the ways it makes you question things and makes you think about a lot of stuff. Makes you think about stuff. It's a thinking movie, man. It's smart. And you think
it really is smart.
You think about stuff. But this one, a lot less so. And even though, like I said, Batman was one of the breakout stars, the fact that they made this movie, I was excited because I thought that they had planted Batman knowingly in Lego 1 in order to then use him in Lego 2 and then do it. But I feel like this one clearly was just like, oh, Batman worked. People love Batman. Let's just make a sequel.
Definitely.
And it's done. Like I was hoping that it was like part of a master plan that was going to be.
Oh no, I didn't see that. I mean, I know they're making
wishful thinking, I guess.
They're making the Lego movie too. So he's, I mean, like goes without saying, he's probably going to be in that. But I think he was just so. This is the point. I mean, so I wrote the review for the website also, and I was just saying that also that he worked so well only because it was so timely, man. Like, everyone is so tired of seeing, and just to get into the whole Batman space now, but everyone is super tired of seeing this whole dreary kind of Batman, that like to finally just see the funny side of it, and not, in a way that no cartoon has been able to do before. There was another show, which I mean, we should mention, which is called Batman the Brave and the Bold, which came out in, I think, from 2000 to 2010, I can't remember when. But it basically started spoofing the character in a way that, was like akin to the Adam West Batman, right? The Cape Crusader kind of Batman. And I just, if you just see the trajectory of the whole, timeline of Batman. He started off as a serious character, went through the 60s, became like super kind of funny and campy. And because people enjoyed that, because they needed something new. And then it kind of, all the Alan Moore, Frank Miller kind of brought him back. We went through like the greatest dark phase ever, the 90s, we had the animated series. And I think it just reached a pinnacle, man. It's too high. It was peaking, man. He peaked at Nolan's Batman. Yeah. And then BVS was like downhill, I mean, I love it. It's great. But it was so serious that people were like, dude, it's like, and I just said, like anything that becomes too epic for its own good is probably gonna it's gonna reach that point. And I just think that the Lego Batman was like a it's as important in all the versions and iterations.
Absolutely.
As as any of them.
It was a way to cool things down.
It is sorely needed. Yeah,
which is great.
Which is great. That's what I loved about it. I think. So I love the film. I thought it was great. I think there was a good story in it. I mean, I don't know what. I mean, as a big Batman fan and Lego movie fan, I don't know how they would have made this like uber meta, or they could have done. They could have done something.
I think they really.
I'm sure they. I'm sure
I don't
they could
think
have
it would
done
have been
something.
hard at all. I mean, the fact that they didn't continue the Will Ferrell thing,
but
like
then
like
that's not new. I mean, like
it might not have been new, but I mean, it might. Okay, so like you said, they are making a Lego 2, an official sequel to the previous one, so that can continue that maybe storyline. But I suppose what I was hoping for was something that was teased a little bit when they would like go through the different homages in the montage sections of like Batman through the ages, and now all of a sudden we're gonna be awesome and like words are gonna pop out of nowhere. They had those like fleeting moments of like you could open this door completely and walk through, but like they just like cracked open those doors every now and again, which was great. And like it was a welcome, like this is amazing because you're calling a spade with regards to the ludicrous life that Batman has had. Like 75 years, he's been through a lot, man. Like you said, the iterations have been so vast and so bizarre from each other that there's a lot of material there. And the fact that the first movie, again, one of the things thematically that was really good is that it was a really good commentary just on like the way in which a lot of things are handled with regards to how we watch movies and how movies play out, and like the expectations we have with regards to like how stories should go and like how plot lines develop and how you should feel about characters. Like now cue the sad music part. Like they were very open about that. They were very self-aware, right?
Super self-aware.
And this one was self-aware, but only with regards to Batman and his history of the lives that Batman has had.
Yeah, sure.
I was hoping for a bigger thing about superhero movies, and this didn't have anything to do with superhero movies. It just had Batman.
But that's the thing, though.
Fine,
Batman is so big as a figure, like as a pop culture icon. It's like one of your comments on the film was that there weren't enough Suicide Squad jokes, and I thought, I was like, is that like too soon or something?
No, they made some.
But
exactly
like,
the thing. They never went all the way with anything.
Yeah, but I just felt like all the riffs and gags that were made were purely on Batman. Like they were just on Batman because there's, like you said, so much of Batman that you can do a whole movie clearly with with just sticking on Batman stuff, and you're good. And it was funny, and I was laughing my ass off. It was great.
If you also look at the way in which that like we said, Batman is one of the most, at the moment, super uber serious to a fault, with BVS being his last time out, right? Wouldn't it be hilarious to see arguably the most serious character in this universe of superheroes that we have, where this genre is getting a little fatigued and the audiences are kind of tired and we're used to seeing things a certain way? Wouldn't it be hilarious if the most serious character, aka Batman, is the one who is calling it out for what it is, and he's the one that the parody of the serious character is the one that actually says, guys, this is too much. Because I mean, like, I love the Iron Man sucks password stuff, things like that. Like, I was hoping for more of that. Like, it was just,
I love that.
Which
and
is why it's a good
from
movie.
The trailer,
like, it's fine. Oh, what was in the trailer?
It's a lot of stuff in the trailer was different. Like, and it's so easy. You just have to literally voice
delete
different
file,
lines.
Add in.
Yeah, it's a smart way for animated movies to feel fresh, because there was a lot of promotional material for this, which I was a sucker for, and I completely wanted to eat up all of that. In fact, they had a behind the bricks featurette, which was literally just interviews with the actual characters from the Lego Batman movie. So it was not like Will Arnett and all that stuff. It was just Batman, Alfred, and this talking about the movie and stuff like that. Cool. And they've used it so smartly. You just watch that. They've used lines from the film to kind of incorporate into the interviews. Like, so it was very economically used. And the other thing was, in the trailer, I remember just this one just stands out. But like, they say, oh, what's the password? And he says, no, Batman. And then he opens it. But in the movie, it's just like, Iron Man sucks. And I was just like, oh, that's so funny, because I did not expect that. So that was great. I mean, I'm completely fine with this movie as being like, the Lego movie was a really different, kind of game-changing kind of film, because we've not seen that style of animation. It's basically taking that whole YouTube craze of making stop motion and just making a professional film out of it. And it was the smartest thing they could have done for Lego to build a new universe. But I feel like it's already become like not old, but now I know what I'm familiar with it. Now it's not fresh anymore. So I'm okay with the fact that they just did a, plain old kind of good story. I still prefer this much to Deadpool. Like, like Deadpool was like the same thing. Like it was just in live action form, but it was exactly the same thing. It's taking the X-Men and, ripping them a new one. And and this was for Batman. It just happened to be made of like bricks.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so that's it. And it's a kids movie, man. Like Deadpool is
is
not all a kids movie. So I mean, I don't even know, a lot of kids, this could go over like a lot of their heads, like a lot of the stuff.
True.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff which like you said, pertains to the history. Like it's funny because everyone knows Batman. How weird is that everyone goes into a story knowing exactly what happened. Like very clearly, his parents have been killed, went on a rampage, became Batman, and like knows about Robin, knows about Catwoman, knows about Commissioner Gordon. These things are like across the board. Like people know that, and I think that they just use that so easily and just told a pretty cool story, which I think we'll talk about a little bit more. We'll just take a short break and we'll get right into the story of the Lego Batman.
Well, hello there. I'm Naveen Narona. Do you ever think about what's it like growing up gay in India? What LGBT rights mean? What's happening to gay people around the world as we speak? Which diva inspired me to soar like an eagle? Well, it's time to get answers to all those questions, especially the diva one. Keeping It Queer will take a close look at the lives of ordinary LGBT heroes in India. People in the closet, people who tumbled out of it, and allies who support the movement in general. So come join me every Monday on a new episode of Keeping It Queer.
We just had coffee. Can you tell? Can you tell? Can you tell? Oh, that's so good. Oh, thank God.
This high is gonna come down in about 3, 2, 1,
man.
go. Yeah.
So what the hell were we talking about?
We talk about the Lego Batman movie.
Oh, that thing.
Yes.
What about it?
We were going to get into the story now because we have kind of talked about the essence of it, like what it means, how it's how it's placed in the universe of the Lego films now, which is again, I guess, a universe or dimensions, should I say. So let's talk about the story.
It was fine. Again, it had promise at the start.
Yeah.
Because it was the classic B versus J scenario.
Yeah. I thought that was nice.
That sounded a lot dirtier than it should have.
No,
but,
now it has.
Now it does.
Now it does.
But,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love a good Batman versus the Joker plotline? So,
but it wasn't a Batman versus the Joker plotline.
Right. He was the catalyst for Batman's own
self-discovery kind of thing.
Which
I mean, the Joker wants it to be a proper, like a classic adversary tale, but he's just like he's completely dismissive of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought it was fine. It was good. It was fun. But it was reliant a little too heavily. I mean, a little too heavily for my liking. Like in the long run and things, like because of how much it was.
What?
Just the cast. I mean, it was just a matter of like, who can we bring in now that will surprise the audience and make you laugh and smile? And of course it did. But my worry is that, like maybe a few years down the line, I'm not going to really think on this movie all that much.
Oh, I will.
Like,
I will definitely. I mean, like, I will because, like, I think it'll be I know it's going to be the first of many either Lego Batman films or, these whole Lego films and everything.
Yeah.
But I'll remember it because I think, like I said, timing-wise, I think it was dead on. Like, anybody who's in the zeitgeist of like watching BVS and all that stuff will appreciate all the references and everything. But I think also it's just like it's a good story, man. It's as simple as that. Like, I like that they took a few, liberties with the characters, like the whole like opening, I was just saying this, I said this in the review as well, but if you just read the synopsis of the story without saying that, oh, it's a Lego Batman film, it can probably read as a comic book arc, like any comic book arc, which is cool. I like that they took this, they could have done literally anything and they kind of head that way towards the end of the film.
They pretty much did.
They do. But I like the fact that they got really nerdy with, things like the Phantom Zone, Like, I did not see that being used as a device at all. Okay, so the Phantom Zone, which is a cool way to unleash all the entire repertoire of characters, which was interesting. So basically, Batman comes in on this story where, he's the best, everyone loves him, but he goes home and there's nobody, right? He doesn't care about Alfred, he just cares about himself, but secretly he wants to be loved. The second thing is that they skip the whole Dick Grayson's parents dying, I guess that was too dark. But the fact that he's already an orphan, which is cool. And the second thing was, I mean, it's not cool, but the third thing is that, Commissioner Gordon is stepping down and Barbara Gordon is going to be the commissioner, which is cool. Yeah. So I thought that was an interesting change of the norm.
2017, you got to have a strong female.
Oh, no, sure. But interesting in the way that, not in the way Zack Snyder said, hey, you know what would be interesting? Batman killing people. Right. Not in that way, but like in the way that, this is a cool new set of, like it's a new timeline and, anything can happen. And I like the fact that, they keep referencing the fact that we look good for being 75 years old, in this universe, both the Batman and the Joker. And the other thing is that, a lot of movies, I mean, Heath Ledger did the whole, you complete me thing. Yeah. And they've taken and, ran with that. Yeah, it was the whole, Jerry Maguire thing. There's the he says, he wants to be that important person, which is actually a really interesting, this is the cutest Joker I've seen yet,
right?
Great. Like, he was super cute.
I really liked him.
Yeah, he was really good. Yeah. And just like the way they've animated his smile has got these pointy teeth. It's just so cute and endearing, right? And so first time I was like, oh my god, the Joker is so sweet. And and the fact that he just wants the Batman to kind of just be his buddy, just like say that, okay, this means something. And he's just like, you mean nothing to me.
But honestly, I think I would love it even more if I saw Zach Galifianakis doing it in Joker costume. I think a lot of the emotion on his face, a lot of the way in which they drew his face
was a lot
very Galifianakis, like it was incredibly animated.
He's always played this kind of bum loser sort of thing. And,
who's incredibly empathetic, and the Joker should be a very empathizing character.
Yeah, dude,
and
totally.
So I've never seen him so empathetic. Mark Hamill has done a bit of it. Like, I can see that, but in a very sinister, dark way that he's needed to be. And this was cool that they took that vibe and they just made it like cute because it's the Lego movie, but they made it really cute because he's just Zach Galifianakis, man, doing a good job. So I thought that was cool. So the story continues that way, that he, the Batman wants to kind of say that he basically wants to give himself purpose, and so he tries to put Joker in the Phantom Zone where he won't be able to torment anybody. But in doing so, that he falls for the Joker's master plan, and kind of and unleashes everybody else. So that's the premise of the story, and then it kind of gets to the only place where I was gonna say that it could have gone a little more meta, and like how the Lego movie does is they said that in the beginning of the movie they say it's a joke, it's a joke that the Gotham City is not made on anything, it's literally on planks and there's nothing below it, which is a reference, I want to say, to the whole fact that it's not a real city. It's actually built on a platform by some person as a Lego set. So I thought that was cool that they referenced it, saying that there's no real substructure to the city. It's just like a platform. Yeah. And when it was breaking up and the whole city was going to come apart, I thought, okay, cool, maybe there's something going to happen here, but it didn't. Yeah. Right? They kind of put it all together. But that's the theme of this movie, man. Missed opportunities.
Yeah. So I thought that was okay. Just generally, I thought that the cast doing whatever it had to do with its comedic timing. Everybody was on point. It was great. So I like the story. I liked where it went. I actually did have a few emotional moments.
Yeah, no, there was some surprisingly touching
good,
heart tug moments.
Yeah.
But then again,
let's talk about this.
But then again, it shouldn't actually. Now that I think of it, shouldn't be that surprising because the first one again. We can't help but compare. But the first one was full of it. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, Emmett's character, Chris Pratt's character in the first movie was thoroughly empathetic. You could just anyone could have been Emmett, right? This overly optimistic guy who gets jaded with life. But then his character is good because he doesn't give up and stuff like that. So that's cool. In this movie, there are a couple of moments which I really felt like one is obviously with the Joker, him saying, when it's right at the top of the film where he says, you just say it, say you're my, I'm your greatest enemy and stuff. He's like, no. He's like, who's your greatest enemy? He's like, Superman. I love that. I thought that was so funny that he still thinks that Superman is his greatest enemy. He's like his greatest rival. But and then he just says, no, you mean nothing to me. You mean, I just do this because I'm Batman, and that's it. And that was that was really great. Like, as a very serious moment,
That's great.
I thought that was like, that could have been in the Dark Knight or
Yeah.
something, you know, like that
Yeah.
exchange. So that was nice. And so that was one really powerful moment. The second one, which I thought was excellent, I just want to, okay, just before we get into that, I just want to talk about some of the building in this film. It's really cool. There was one really cool like Lego technique, whatever thing called the Scuddler.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that was cool, man. Like, it was the first
Oh, you mean the
time-
master building? Like
The master
way
building,
he
yeah.
just builds stuff out of nothing.
Yeah. So for people who haven't seen the Lego movie, wouldn't
Yeah.
get the whole master builder.
So that's just
thing.
one thing I want to make quick mention of. I noticed it like mid show. Obviously during the intermission, I just looked over and I saw there was a, I guess he might have been like 12 or 13 years old. This kid with his dad, and the dad seemed pretty disinterested. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. You brought your kid.
You're a boring dad.
Yeah, you brought your kid to see a Lego movie. That makes sense. It's got Batman. Of course he's gonna like it. But I forget where exactly we were in the film at the time when the intermission happened. But when I looked over, most of the adults who clearly had seen the first one, and I could see like people's reactions to like all the gags we were laughing to, like people that were clued in and caught on to 90% of the jokes, we all had a good time. This kid, though, I think was not the only one in the room of people that probably hadn't seen the first one.
Okay.
And there were a lot of things like primarily with the master building and things like that were never explained, and you just had to figure it out as you go. And and I don't know how much that would take away from the movie, because like you said, it's not that important to it.
It's not.
But-
It's not a stretch of the imagination for you to get. Oh, okay. I guess you can
yeah,
build
it's like,
stuff.
oh, they're
you
doing
know.
things.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But on that note, though, so slight tangent. This week, Doctor Strange came out on home video.
Yeah,
Right. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
saw that again, and I was really excited to see that again.
How does
at
it?
home.
How does it?
It holds up.
What? Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's got it has some rewatch value to
Oh,
it,
I'm
because
sure it has a
it's-
great
there are a couple of
rewatchability,
things
yeah.
that you pay more close attention to this time, which are
Yeah.
great. But it's the nitpicky thing that I bring up every so often of the fact that we saw it with subtitles, right?
Yeah,
now I
man.
distinctly, rather I can't say I remember, because I forgot that when we saw Doctor Strange,
We
there
saw
were
the
subtitles.
Yeah.
Right?
Even in this movie, we had subtitles.
Exactly,
right?
that's what I
Yeah.
mean. So
I hated
when
it.
I saw Doctor Strange for the second time without subtitles, I loved, for instance, Chiwetel Ejiofor's performance infinitely more. Because when you're seeing with subtitles,
You don't know what he's
you
gonna
beat him to
say.
the line.
Yeah,
you know exactly
man.
what he's going to say, right? So in this one is, again, it's such a witty, quick
it's
timing.
punchlines, the
edit. The
right
edit
through.
is integral, especially being animation. Like there's no, I can only look at a plastic face for so long to keep me gripped. I need your dialogue to keep me into it because it's animation. So the fact that all the gags were shown to us like a half second before they're delivered, I just have to say that we definitely didn't get the audience was done a disservice, because you don't get the full weight of everything.
Yeah,
So,
especially when they're punchlines, man. They're jokes which are dependent.
and this movie
on,
is 90% just gag after one line after
it's
one
like,
line after sarcasm.
It's like imagine doing stand-up comedy but having subtitles. You know,
Yeah.
like that would be the worst
the-
thing
yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I try my best to kind of keep it out of my
Yeah.
eye line when I watch these
But
kind of
that,
movies.
and in
That's
an
the good
animated
thing
movie,
about
and
IMAX.
it's even worse.
Yeah.
In an animated movie, because if it's like real footage, like you can pull focus to like high up than the bottom 20% of the screen. If it's animation, you're building the entire frame.
Yeah.
Every
You wanna
pixel,
show everything.
every pixel counts. Like there's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that you need to see in every single pixel.
That's true.
Everything is intended to be there from the ground up.
That's true. Yeah.
So
I agree.
you can't look away. You have to see everything.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No. Good
round
point.
over.
But yeah, I mean, so just to come back to this whole the master builder thing. So there was the Scuddler, which is really cool. I think that's what it's called. Really cool bat vehicle that we haven't seen before, I guess, which was made exclusively for this, which is a cool kind of.
Wait,
and it's-
wasn't the Scuttler a bat vehicle?
I mean, I've never seen it before.
Yeah, but I mean, like the one that they built for this movie.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
bat. Yeah, that
yeah.
we have never seen like
Yeah.
as a official. I mean, we've seen the Batmobile and things like that. But so that was cool. There was one moment. Well, again, so just towards the end, which I really loved. Two moments. One is like when he kind of realizes that he has this family again, and he takes this whole selfie. Which reminds him of the selfie that he took with his parents, which I thought was cool. And then he just reminded that, oh, this is something I could probably lose again. So he just packs them off in the Scuttler and tells him, he's like, shoo, go to the taco. What?
Go to the what?
Go to the taco store, like on the other side of Gotham
Oh, right.
Gotham City, and get what? He says, like, go get some like burritos. It was so funny, dude.
I'd love a burrito.
It was so weirdly funny in a very serious moment, and I don't know whether to laugh. I was just like, oh my god, this is. And he just telling him, like, go get some burritos. Just like, go from here. But I thought that was pretty heartbreaking. And the last, which was the most heartbreaking, which I thought they were going to do, which was kill off Alfred. And I was just like, that was like, because they spent like 5 seconds showing him falling from the sculler in like height. Like it was like from a really high altitude, and he like falls, and they're just like, no, Alfred, no. And you feel the gravity of his, literally, of his mistake of not taking Alfred seriously all this time as a father figure. And he's just like going, and I was like, oh my god, this became like weirdly dark. This was like Han Solo, like, you know, that vibe, right? And I was just like, oh my god, is this actually happening? And like, then obviously it's the Lego movie. And they're gonna just,
See, again, the first one had those moments. It went further.
Yeah,
it was
sure.
bolder, man.
Yeah, sure. No, I get it.
I don't know. I don't know why, for some reason, I built this up in my head as like a groundbreaking film. I had way too high expectations of this movie.
I had medium expectations, and I was well met.
They were very well met.
Yeah. So
it was better than medium. It was a very good movie.
It was a good movie, yeah. It was a very good movie.
It was a very good movie.
Like, you know, it's weird when these animated movies are better than their live action iterations, man. How are we living in an age where the Lego Batman movie is a more in tune with, you know, the social thing, you know, and audiences than like Batman versus Superman? How?
Because you're not relying on an actor's ability to emote with their face.
Yeah, but it's not Batman's problem, right? Like, like that's not Batman's problem. It's story problem, right? When there are like 8 plots in Batman versus Superman, and they've decided to use all 8 in a 3.5 hour kind of like movie.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't become an ultimate edition, man. It becomes like okay, whatever we could have done edition, like, and that kind of sucks. Like that,
it becomes a drawing board edition.
Yeah, like, dude, I don't know, but like, if Wonder Woman is like average and Justice League is coming out this year. Think about it. Like, we're gonna watch a friggin' Justice League movie, and I should be excited.
I completely forgot that was this year.
I should be excited, so excited. I love the Justice League, and I'm not at all. Like, I'm just waiting for it. I'm just like, okay, cool. When it happens, let me know.
Yeah,
it's like that, you know. And so I think that's why this Lego movie, this version of Batman, like, it felt right. Like, for me, I was just like, thank you for saying what is on everybody's minds. That, please, guys, stop taking the whole Batman thing not seriously. I get it. He's a dark character. He has a dark history. He has a pledge, you know, to his parents to kind of rid crime. But then also explore why he's done that. Like, why is Batman, like, at a point, you know, Batman's gone through so many existential crises, you know, and just where he has to re-question the purpose of his life. He's like, I remember there was this one great film which was from 1995. It was an animated film called Batman: The Mask of the Phantasm. And it comes between Batman season 1 and 2. And it's basically about how very early in his career, it's one of the best Batman films I'll ever see. And he basically finds this woman, Andrea, who he falls in love with. And in that movie, like, when he's finally in love and he's happy again, like, there's this moment where he goes back to his parents' grave, and he just, like, he sits there in the rain, and it's raining, and he just basically apologizes, like, I'm sorry. He's like, I'm sorry. I know I said that I was going to avenge your death, but, like, now I'm happy. I don't want to do this anymore. I doesn't want to be Batman anymore. And they kind of touched on that, and it's a beautiful moment. And they touched on it in the Nolan film, in The Dark Knight Rises, and they retire Batman, literally. And, you know, that was great. That was so awesome to see that they finally kind of, it's a full circle. But like, Batman vs. Superman and Suicide Squad and all these things are just getting so dark. Like, wow, I'm dark. I'm gonna kill people. And like, I'm just like, why? Just like, at least you have to kind of zone in back on the purpose of doing this.
Yeah. And
that's why I like the Lego movie. This is why I like the Lego movie.
I guess I'm just way too tired of talking about Batman.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm never tired. I love Batman.
It's just,
I love Batman.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how else to put it. Like, he's just so in the focus of popular culture. Like,
you know why? And
it's just one guy. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? We should be giving more of a shit about Superman, and like why is Superman not being treated the way he should be? Like Captain America is like the way Superman should be right now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like the way he's being treated in the Marvel universe. Like
that's
stoic,
the thing.
great.
Marvel universe. People always refer to it as Marvel. People don't talk about DC as a cohesive thing nearly as much because nobody in DC besides Batman gets any limelight.
Also, they haven't done a universe which is deserving of the term universe.
Right.
Like they've done a Gothamverse.
Last Batman movie we talked about, the animated movie, Justice League Dark.
Okay, it's not in a Batman film.
Our biggest qualm was that it's not a Justice League movie.
Yeah.
The Justice League got there for 5 seconds, and then
well, it's a Justice League Dark film.
Right, but still,
that's what the team is called.
But what I mean is that that movie doesn't do any help to making it the DC universe or the Justice League universe or anything like that. Whereas with Marvel, at least we have the Avengers and we know these guys, and we've invested in the core group at least for the past over a decade. So I mean, like, if you don't like Captain America, that's fine. There are 4, 5, 6, 7 other guys that you could invest in.
That's so true,
and it's
man.
only getting more and more. There's something for everybody. With
I think
Marvel,
that's exactly why they win, man. Like,
if you don't like one guy, chances are you like somebody.
Yeah.
And they're all great.
And they are all great, and they're all unique, and they've spent a lot of time building those characters, which is why that's great. I mean, like, I love DC, and I want them to like kind of get their shit together. I'm desperate, man. Like,
it's just a matter of like, Batman is great and all, and like, I love him, but
the fact that
I can't have you just put on different costumes on him and expect me to like think he's a different guy and like this version of it. Like, it's the same guy.
True,
it's like just saying it's Windows 10, it's Windows 9, it's Windows 7, it's still frigging Windows, man. Like at the end of the day, it's still the same thing.
I mean, they made fun of that in this film, like, in 1966, in 1971, in 1991, in 1992.
Yeah.
It's just like all the different versions of it. But yeah, just to take a step away from Batman. So that's that's one of the main words, except for the and movie in the title. The other thing is the Lego aspect of it. What do you think is going to happen with the whole Lego franchise? How quickly is this universe going to die, Jishnu? I mean,
that's another great question.
Yeah, I don't know what their plan is. I'll just the one other thing that I know about it is the Spinjitzu. No, what is it? Ninjago, the Masters of Spinjitzu.
I haven't looked into that.
I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
It's classic. You could say classic Lego. It's only been a couple of years, but I liked it. I mean, I thought it's funny. It's got some very familiar voices, which I cannot put a thing on.
Sure.
But like it's like a father-son story. Like basically the story is about these ninja clans, 2 huge clans which are clashing against each other, except one's headed by the son, one's headed by the father. So it's that's the crux of the story, is that it's between these, and it's funny. It's quite funny from the trailer for whatever I saw.
I mean, I guess I'm relatively, I don't know, indifferent, I suppose. I mean, because I think it's a great medium for them to continue stuff with. Because I'm just looking at the cast list for this one, and the characters that they've got. Obviously, they're all mainly from DC, and if not just from Warner Brothers. It's so far-reaching that can I just rattle this off?
Go for it. Yeah. I think I know a few of it. Yeah.
God, I can't even. Wow. Okay. Just the ones that I'll mention: Batman, Robin, Batgirl, Alfred, Joker, Computer.
Yeah, Computer.
Siri.
Siri
was great.
Yeah, Siri.
Harley Quinn, Scarecrow, the Riddler, Bane, Two-Face, Catwoman, Clayface, Poison Ivy, Voldemort, King Kong, Sauron. Phyllis? Who the hell is Phyllis? Okay. Ellie Kemper plays Phyllis. Somebody named Phyllis. Superman, Green Lantern, The Flash, Jim Gordon.
Who plays Superman?
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum plays Superman.
Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill, they reprised.
Yeah.
Jim Gordon, Chief O'Hara, and then you just get into a laundry list.
Wait, Chief O'Hara was in this?
Apparently. I mean...
How did I not? Oh, yeah.
Because they're like 100 people.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So when they bring in the... I don't even know. Did they have a name? Did the villains have a name? The super team of villains?
The whole team of them?
Yeah. There was no unifying name, right?
No. I guess Suicide Squad was taken.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, by virtue of the fact they can bring in Medusa and the Wicked Witch and anybody.
They just basically rob the entire WB slate of characters.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Which is cool.
I guess that's exciting, because then does Lego then become the new go-to parody or satirical, self-aware medium?
I don't know, because this trailer which I saw, right, the Ninjago one, it just seemed to be in its own. So they've had these properties before, like Ninjago has been like a TV show. Lego Batman has had all the video games, the 3 video games that came out. What do you call it? Like the Lego universe has been around. It's just not in movie form. They've done it in like animated movie form. Like they've had Clutch Powers. They made a bunch of TV movie style, Netflix style Lego movies, which I've watched a few of. I'm actually not afraid to admit that. And they've had a bunch of video games and things like that. The Lord of the Rings games. All of them are co-op games and they're great.
But to that end, my question is like, are they going to continue this whole thing of picking up a pre-existing, well-known, reputed thing and just flip it?
I mean, like
basically pull a scary movie.
They'll
use
like the characters from
things.
it and basically do it. See, Batman is still something that doesn't have one storyline, so it's fine. Like Lord of the Rings is a set story,
right?
Like Harry Potter is a set story, so those are definitely gonna like be used. I think like the fact like they had Gandalf as the main character in one.
Yeah.
And like they literally it was just like, hey, Morgan Freeman, you're playing Gandalf. And he must have been like, what? He's like, no, it's a Lego movie, it's fine.
Yeah.
And in this one, like Eddie Izzard plays like Voldemort.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, and not Ralph Fiennes. But who plays Alfred. But the fact I think that they can pull from like different set storylines and use their characters to just amp it up and make it a little more like juicier instead of storyline, you know. Like having Sauron in this film was again something that I did not see at all happening, and it's there. It's silly and it's stupid.
But he was like bitch Sauron. He was like
he's like, it's a stupid. It's not even Sauron. It's like the eye of Sauron. So it was just funny to see that. I think, and it was used well.
It was
like
used very well.
2 minutes, he's there. It's funny. It's stupid, and it is. And Jaws is there, and like they use the bad shark repellent on Jaws. Like it's silly, but it's just great. So I hope they can do that. So what I think they're going to do is make new stories and then pull from other kind of franchises to kind of just amp up their story a little bit. So which is cool, which is an interesting format. I've never seen it happen before ever. Like in my life, I'd never see Voldemort and Batman fight. Right. It's happened now.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's a weird.
They have a free pass to do anything.
Exactly, and it's well within their core Lego philosophy of like creating universes together and just making people fight. Yeah, just do what you want.
True.
Which is what the whole Lego movie was about. And I love that. So that's great. So I don't exactly know how they're gonna take it forward. But I'm okay with it. Like for me, it's like, hey, if there's a Lego movie out, like I'm sure there'll be a time where there'll be 2 Lego movies in a year coming out, like Marvel or something. And like if there's like a really dumb movie which is out, like The Space Between Us, and a Lego like movie, I'll go watch the Lego movie, man. Like I'll just be like, oh, cool, this is gonna be. Actually, I'd probably watch both of them, but
because we'll have to talk about them.
Well, yeah.
Because of you, loyal listener, thank you.
Yeah,
you give us things to.
But
to watch.
I will watch. I will watch a Lego movie as long as they keep this kind of consistency of silly, fun, meaningful. They're well intentioned. I'll watch it. It's good. All right, cool. That is our episode. We'll quickly just do some random news.
Finding the right drink at the right place can be a big challenge. Exploring a new destination to its fullest could be a daunting task.
So tune in every Friday and listen to the Drinks and Destinations podcast with Rajita and Samira, who introduce you to the world of fine wines, beer, spirits, and travel.
You can subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Audioboom, or any other local podcast app.
So, Jishnu, what random news do you have? I have one, so I'm just going to go with it.
Hit me with your best shot.
Donald Glover is playing Simba.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about that. So they have said this movie is going to be a live action film. What is live action in any of these?
I won't.
Do they mean just photorealistic CGI? That's it?
Just wait for the trailer and I'll find out.
Yeah, because
speculating for these things is pointless.
No, because they said I know. Are they going to do it like Lion King, the musical, the Broadway musical? Where like it's not, right? It's going to be like how Jungle Book is.
Maybe.
So Jungle Book, they keep saying is a live action film. Like literally, only Mowgli is live action. Literally nothing else. They didn't shoot in a single jungle.
Well, technically, Lego Movie is not an animated movie, right?
It is an animated movie.
Or rather,
it's not stop motion. Yeah.
Huh.
It appears to have that stop motion.
No, it's because of the Will Ferrell thing. I mean, like you mentioned. with the
that
Oscar
way.
thing.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
As far as they're concerned, it's not a.
No, but like at least in the Jungle Book, there is like one character who you can build the entire movie around. In the Lion King, everything is from scratch. It's like literally from the ground up. So it's gonna be fun and interesting. And James Earl Jones is back to voice Mufasa, which is And since the 20 years that have passed, his voice has gotten even deeper. So when he goes like, remember, he's just gonna
I do. I promise, I swear I remember.
Suddenly you can hear like this lightsaber that comes on.
But yeah,
remember.
I mean, have you seen the trailers for Beauty and the Beast?
I saw the first teaser trailer, like the main shots of it.
So you haven't seen the full trailer?
I'm okay also not seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm just excited because Ewan McGregor's in it and he's my boy.
I also was considering not seeing the trailer, but Beauty and the Beast. I'm excited for, but it's not my like.
It's not your favorite animated.
It's not my favorite. They're my favorite
film.
Disney. Like I have
definitely.
I have very strong feelings about my top 3.
Yeah.
And Beauty and the Beast is not there.
Oh, which are your top 3, Jishnu?
It's a short fourth. What do you think of my top 3?
I don't want to say Lion King is definitely in the top 3.
Order them.
Lion King, Aladdin, and the third one would be, wait for it, Tarzan? No, not Tarzan. No, wait. What are the other ones that came in? Yeah, okay. I think, so definitely those two will be in the top 3.
Which two?
Aladdin and Lion King.
The Lion King is not Aladdin.
Aladdin's on there?
Yeah,
wow.
it's not there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, what is your let me...
It's number 1 is The Little Mermaid.
Oh,
I can tell you every line of dialogue from The Little Mermaid.
So I was
the
gonna
day
say
that movie gets a live action trailer, I will be the first one in line.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
So The Little Mermaid, I was gonna say would either be your third or not fourth, but because you said that.
Because my grandparents had it on VHS. I've seen that, I swear, over 100 times. Because I'm talking back in the day when I had all of one movie that I could watch.
Yeah.
When I was staying with them, they had one tape. It was that or Baby's Day Out. And I've watched Baby's Day Out and Little Mermaid 100 times each.
Yeah, too many times. Okay, cool. So Little Mermaid, Lion King.
Little Mermaid, Lion King, and Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yeah, I love that movie.
It's
beautifully underrated
dark.
Film.
Like,
underrated
what the
film.
hell? When I was like 10 years old watching that movie, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I've matured 20 years
and
in the span
more.
of 90 minutes. Yeah. And Esmeralda, for some odd reason, is like obscenely like detailed in her drawing. And like I was just like, that is a little too provocative for a 9-year-old.
She's super hot, yo.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Why was I talking about this?
We were talking about
Beauty and
top
the Beast.
3. Okay.
So,
sorry. Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast. I'm excited for it, but I saw the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And they show you quite a bit. They show you the main characters and like how they all, look and just a few lines that they say. And it looks obviously beautiful, and it's really interesting how they've done the animation, especially the household items. I don't know what else to call them. The furniture.
Yeah, the household items.
Yeah. They're really interestingly done with the animation.
Who's playing? Ian McKellen is playing Cogsworth.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I suppose the one thing that stuck with me the most that was a little hard to swallow, I guess you'll just have to get used to it, much like it happened with the Jungle Book as well, and we just sort of took it with a grain of salt, is that they play the main melody, right? Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
Like that is the main thing that comes out. But it's an undertone above what is essentially Hans Zimmer Inception music.
Oh, it's what? Oh,
And not Hans Zimmer, but it's got that vibe, right? Of like,
cool,
this is a live action. Dun, dun,
so it's gotta be
monster. Bum, bum,
So it's basically how they did the Rogue One theme, like mix of the Darth Vader
yes.
and the...
Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah. Not nearly as
basically the
intense
spin
as that,
of the
but
motif.
So like you're in the score,
I love it when they do that,
they're
man.
bringing it together like a movie soundtrack
Yeah, that's
to
cool.
the thing. So I was like, oh shit.
I like
okay,
it when
cool.
they do that.
Yeah, so Lion King, many feelings about the Lion King. So like when if they're gonna touch that score, man, I was like, oh boy.
They won't mess it up. I mean, Jon Favreau is a great director.
I trust him. I trust him implicitly.
Yeah, same.
So I'm far more excited for Lion King than I'm for Beauty and the Beast.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
that's just because I'm more invested in Lion King. I guess.
Yeah, I mean that
That's
movie
really only
is
it.
when you say top like 3 Disney films, like I don't usually count Lion King because for me that's just like a movie, which is a great movie which I just keep aside, and then I have like Aladdin, Little Mermaid, things like that. Oh yeah, but I think the Lion King it'll be special.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really nice to do. Cool. That is our episode. Unless you have something to say, Jishnu.
The only thing I have for you
Yeah.
is that Beyonce just dropped an entire photo album about her pregnancy.
Yeah, she does that kind of thing. She does that kind of thing. I will go check it out. That's a weird thing to say.
You wanted random news, I give you random news.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's our episode. If you guys have any thoughts on the Lego movie, the Lego Batman movie, the Lion King, or The Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast, let us know. Contact geekfruit@gmail.com is where you can mail us.
I have a question.
Yes?
If she's Queen Bey, will her Baylets be princesses and princes?
No.
Why? No.
Because we love Will Smith, but Jaden Smith is a piece of shit. So why do we have to, you know...
Wait,
yeah.
who are you talking about?
Queen Bey, right?
Yeah.
Is Beyonce.
So why is Jaden Smith entering this equation?
Because you're saying that basically the spawn has to be heralded as something great because of the former.
if she's the queen,
Well, sure, but like...
But then-
She's not 1 second.
she's the queen. Hello.
So-
She gets as much bow as the queen.
But Jay-Z is not the king.
Right.
It's only she who's
Likewise,
the queen.
nobody gives a damn about Prince Charles. They care about Queen Elizabeth. So in this same situation, we care about the queen, not so much about the other guy.
I mean, I like Jay-Z as well.
He's fine, but
great.
he's no king.
Film live, in Bombay.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, man. I'm sure. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, these kids.
Contact geekfruit@gmail.com. You can press the
Jaden
contact
Smith
button
is
at
so annoying.
www.geekfruit.in.
He's not a good kid even.
You can reach us on the social medias at geekfruithq.
Like, he has no care for his, like, he's just, anything is happening out of that guy.
Tejas' Twitter is Tejas Menon. You can
God,
get
did
me
you see
at,
his music
at
video?
Jishnu Guha.
It's just terrible.
Thank you, you nerds.
Sucks.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. If you have some time, you should also check out The Seen and the Unseen, which is a podcast hosted by writer Amit Verma, who takes a close look at the seen and the unseen aspects of various government policies. Only on IVM.
Hey man, just help me out, man. I need some podcast, man. I haven't had a fix in a week. Just need some.
Don't you worry about it. I got podcast galore for you, man. Just go to ivmpodcast.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna check it out.